What's up, guys? On this here episode, we're going to be doing some creature comfort mods to the old Ford there. We're going to be working on my driver's door situation. There is the one thing where like the outside handle doesn't work, but that's not really the problem. See, the thing here is, if you'll notice with your eyeballs, the door fits funny up top, and it fits even less funnier at the bottom. This is like the door off a F250 from 86 or 88 or so. I don't know. It's not from here. This is a F150 from 81. So we're going to go to my red truck back there, which I think it was an 81 or an 82. But it's a 150, so it's probably going to fit better than this one does. So we'll just come back here in the Rusty Acres, pretty much. And if you'll notice, this door seems to fit the 150 cab a lot better than mine does. See, the gappage is like real similar, like all up and down. And there's also that thing. That's pretty neat. That's an improvement. Oh my. Anyway, the door looks good. We still got to get in here to this guy and just really delete on a lot of stuff, like all the mouse and rat houses it looks like over there. These are Camaro seats. But anyway, we're gonna get in here to the danger zone, and we're either going to pull the door off of the hinges, or we might want the hinges too. I don't remember if they bolt to the cab or not. Oh, it looks like they do. Somebody, Chevy, Dodge, somebody welds their hinges to the cab because they're not nice people. But yeah, that's, we need the hinges, boys. Oh my goodness. We have the door Holdy Oper 9000 majigger thinger in there. I've never had one of those on my old truck. Yep, so we need to pull the door and pull the hinges off and just move that apparatus over to the daily rig. Ooh, look, she holds herself open. Oh my word. I'm not even gonna know luxuries like this. What am I gonna do with myself? So she's a 13mm situation. I think this is going to be a 1/2-inch bolt, but there's so much paint on it, the 13 just fits snug and right as could be. So we're going to pull out our 2 bolts at the top hinge, the 2 bolts at the bottom hinge, and then we'll be able to remove the door after we clip snaggle on some wiring, and then we'll have access to the 6 bolts that are going to hold the hinges onto the cab. Now we really got the whole open air design feature going on. She's a Jeep now. Now we should have access. Maybe we don't got to pull the fender off. If we do, well, that's fine. And we just have 3 bolts up here and down there to get our hinges and move them to the other. Ooh, the fitment. There's plenty of room for a short socket and a ratchet in here, and you can pull these 3 bolts without pulling on the fender. Whoops! You are going to need your ratchet back though. I decided to leave the lower hinge in place on both the guys because the upper hinge is the doodad with the holdy open majiggy thing. So that'll save us some time on swapping hinges we don't need to swap. Now we're moving over to my truck that I do the drivings in, and we're going to pull this 250 door off of it. And I forgot to mention earlier that as well as the reveal on the door looking funny, and when you drive down a dirt road it slings the dirt up in there to your feet, the other day this thing started whistling like nobody's business. And it's fine if you have the window down, but it was like 30 degrees, so you kind of want the window up, and then it's just horrible loud whistle on the highway. So that's the main reason for swapping the door right now, even though, you know, this mechanism doesn't work on it, and that'll be kind of nice that it does. There's nothing wrong with this operation. You just give her a little reach on the inside, and that's how you get in. So yeah, that would be kind of cool to just, like a normal guy. But now we'll move into here and start removing on the blue door on my brown truck that's painted gray, and we'll put the red door on my brown truck that's painted gray. Really, I don't think I'm even going to notice a difference. But yeah, see here, this is my top hinge, and she's just completely vacant of the holdy upper Majigger 9000 guy. So that's just going to be a big improvement. Because right now she doesn't hold herself. Nope. Well, she's a Jeep now too. Open air design. Got that door off, down to these hinges here, and look at the situation. Holy. The bottom's not quite as bad at the top. She's just not there anymore. Might be able to see. Yeah, that's factory. It really is though. I hadn't looked at this one yet. What about... Oh, hey, the lower guy's not too bad. See, this is the upper from the other truck, which is like 1 year newer. And I'm beginning to speculate, fellers, the other truck has less miles on it. Because this appears to be original. And if you'll notice, this still has a bushing in it. And she wiggles a tiny bit, but it's not quite completely blown out like the other guy. So that looks like that's going to be a good deal. We'll swap the other thing out, the upper hinge out real quick. I think I'm going to get a marker and try to make some kind of reference points here, because when you take those 3 bolts loose, the bracket on the other side like moves and wiggles around. It has like a spot that holds on to it, but you have all this adjustability words. So maybe we want to get that similar close to where it was. I had 2 washers down here before, forgot all about them. Been like forever. I think Dad put those there 20 years ago. But we had 2 washers down here pushing out on the bottom of the door. I bet that was to make up for this, because I bet you that made the old guy not line the striker too good. So I'm thinking when I change the upper hinge here in a second, we're not going to need those washers anymore, and we'll just have a spiffy brand new situation. Alright, now we've got our much better lower mileage hinge installed up here, and I sanded around on the bottom side of it where things were starting to get rusty, and gave her some of the primer, just a little bit of the cancer prevention. You know, it's everywhere anyway, but you might as well slow it down wherever you can when you get a chance. So now we're going to try to bolt the other door up, get rid of the open air design. So here we are after the first attempt, just putting the hinge on and throwing the door on, and you'll see that our fitment is all wrong here. She's too high at this corner, running into the fender here, so we need to pop the door back off and take this upper hinge and slide her back, and then we'll pop the door back on and see where we are from there. So here's what we got the door looking like after 3, 4, 5 times maybe on and off messing with the hinges. Might be able to see there are gaps a little wide at the top compared to the bottom, but it's pretty even. And the big thing is our flooshness to the cab body there is pretty even all the way down before we had a big kick out at the bottom. See there, the revolve. I like this little doodad here that was on the other truck. That's cool. We're gonna have that on the other side here soon. Think we're gonna go with the big tow mirrors on both sides, mainly just because I can see things out of them. You see over here our reveal looks a lot better. Take you to the other side. We need to come over here and do the same job. We'll look between the two doors, figure out which door we're gonna run on the truck that we drive, and main thing is change on those hinges, because this guy clearly has a lot less miles on it than my rig. But you may see the difference here. See how much she hangs out? I believe that's all the hinge over here on this side again. And at this end, it's really bad on the back side. You see, ooh, she's about flush with the rain gutter. But yeah, so now we get to move on and do the same thing on the other side. But that about wraps up this Doin video. Now I'm gonna move some stuff around, pull the rig into the shop and put some outer tie rod ends on it, because the front end's pretty tight, but she's getting all on the road, you know. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day, and go make your door shut all nice and flushy again. Really help hold the heat in. Before we end the video here, I thought I'd show you real quick, if you still watching, what I just changed the tie rod ends, the outer tie rod ends on my old truck here. And right now I'm doing a little redneck backwoods alignment. See, we're aligning the tires off the end of our drag links here, so we start with this other side. That's your passenger side, because if you notice, this comes straight off of the pitman arm on your steering box over to this side. So I go into the truck, get the wheel nice and straight, and then I come out here and I start with this tire, and then after I get that tire straight, I'll move over to the other side, and then the other side is being aligned off of the other tire, if that makes sense. So we're aligning that side to the steering wheel, and this side's aligning to that side. So I set up, did the other side first. Now I'll show you real quick over here. You might be able to see, with all my lights I keep moving around, you might be able to see the string line here. See, I got two jack stands. The string's pretty close to the center of the and we've got the other side where our string is right against the side of the wheel and right up next to the side of the wheel. And then you see, when we come down here, string's nowhere near the side of the wheel, and the string's up against the side of the wheel. That means she's pointed to the left over here. And on the other side, we just got it straightened up where it was even to the string. So what that's doing is we're actually aligning our front tires off of the back tires. So this doesn't work if your axle's walked around and your axle isn't sitting perpendicular to the frame. But anyway, now that we got the other side straight and moved to this side, you'll see we need to get under there and crank. You can really just tell too. We need to get under there and crank this wheel over where it's pulling to the left. And then we'll get it all lined up even Stevens on our string line here. And then she's pretty much aligned. And honestly too, on this I-beam suspension front end type setup we have on these trucks, there's not a whole lot more the alignment shop can do for you. Because you're pretty well set on your tilt in and out and all that. There's very little aligning that can be done besides the toe, which is what this is, the toe left and right. So after I do this, it's pretty well set. But now we'll get this moved over and show you what it looks like. Now we've come down here, turned our adjuster a little bit in the appropriate direction to move the wheel the right way. And if you'll see, our string line is right against at the one end and right against at the other end. And then we follow it back down, straight line, right against, and right against. So now our front wheels are straight in line with our back wheels. And then we can crawl under there, snug up those lucky nuts, and we've done our own backwoods alignment. That puts us at a good close point here for this video. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and comment, like, subscribe, and all that what you do. Bye. Bye.